I'd like to talk about entering fully into experience as experience and not holding back from life, not holding back from yourself. When we fully embrace this moment as it is, which includes you, feeling exactly as you're feeling, the whole configuration, the gestalt of the experience that you're having right now. This is your doorway into presence, into the unified sense of self. When we fully embrace completely the experience that we're having right now, in every single moment, that is the undivided state of consciousness. Meaning that there aren't two things going on, yourself, the sense of you, the separate sense of you, and experience. So you don't need to wait for a realization. You don't need to wait for a type of moment that is more perfect than another, that has everything kind of hooked up in the moment, saying this is a peaceful moment, this is a joyous moment, this is whatever moment for me to fully come in and occupy and own it. Don't have to wait for anything. Any moment, every moment is complete upon itself. Every feeling, every sensation, anything you're experiencing is a possible doorway for you to enter into that which is complete and whole. Because every single thing, the minutia of life, contains the whole. You've heard about the holographic universe, right? They're discovering all these ancient spiritual truths within science, as you know. But we get to be our own science experiment. We get to find out for ourselves. So really, it's about giving yourself permission to fully land in yourself and take stock, tune in, feel completely into any experience, fully, unadulterated, stopping the movement away from, embracing fully, and see what happens. When we don't have a story that sadness is not a doorway, for instance, or any type of suffering, but those are just labels, right? Anything other than the positive labels like peace and bliss and all those things. But the whole realm of experience is a doorway to wholeness. It is wholeness. It's just what's the weather pattern that's happening right here. See, there are no mistakes here about what we're experiencing. How could there be? Because if everything is that, if everything is consciousness or God or whatever you want to say, one indivisible whole, then how could any of these so-called parts not be an aspect of wholeness, which includes you, which includes a sense of you? So this is a very tantric way of operating. Which means entering fully into experience and knowing that as God, discovering the indivisible nature of any one experience. Any single experience contains the whole. Wholeness is revealed. Try it out. So vulnerability, for instance, feeling fragile in the moment. So retraining ourselves from not moving away. Just doing this kind of like, I can't take that in. And have you noticed that all the things that we say that we want, we also turn away from? The beauty of life. Do we really let it fully pierce us and get lost in it? Why are we so afraid of being lost in the moment? fully lost. What gets lost, right? The separate sense of self. Yeah, so it's like the separate sense of self fully gets lost in the transcendent for a moment, and just like I'm just this beam of light coming through the window, landing on that leaf. Just so completely absorbed. Let yourself be so completely absorbed in anything and see what happens. And see if it really is an unconscious act. What is unconscious is when we turn away from experience. That's unconscious. When we tell ourselves a story that there's something to lose out of fear. And what it is, it's the fear of losing our separate sense of self, that which we claim we so much want to wake up out of, right? We're actually also afraid of letting go. So we keep, chasing after realization, which keeps the separate somebody seeming to be alive and well, right? It's much easier to chase after something day after day, year after year, than actually take stock and stop and say, this is what I've got. And we all have heard that we are our own Satguru. That all that needs to happen is that we stop running and turn around from being outwardly focused and lost in the world of the senses unconsciously. And turn around and see who's the one that is being lost. What is really going on here? It can get confusing. There's so many angles and ways to penetrate this true nature, this self that we are, right? But in the end, it is a discovery that you as a separate somebody does not exist. So one way is let yourself fully get lost, but with purpose, right? Just like with the awareness that is you. That is you. And then you don't need to go looking for yourself anymore. So I say dive into experience. Take a deep dive and see what emerges. See what's left. Is there really something that's lost? When you do it consciously, when there's awareness, you as that. Not you and that, but you as that. You are that bird singing that song. You are the sensation and feeling that is doing whatever it's doing. That is you. That is the voice of you singing that song inside. We are the infinite. We are the whole. We are the cosmic body of God. We're God's body, sensing, feeling, thinking, celebrating, feeling sad. And when we don't focus on any one thing, but which actually resisting makes us focus on any one thing, believe it or not, but when you dive into experience, then the vastness of the whole opens up and says, well, I'm this, but what else am I? I'm all aspects of consciousness. So the invitation is to wake up knowing yourself as the whole by entering into the minute details of your life. Wishing you well.